Welcome to the Prep Beat. It's Thomas Lawrence and T.J. Holmes talking Prep Football Media Poll. Playoffs start next week. This is week 10, the final week of the Prep Football Media Poll. Paradise, who's been number 1 in Division 1 all season long, is now number 2. Enterprise moved up to number 1. Paradise lost 34-12 at Red Bluff on Friday. Enterprise took care of business against Shasta in River Bowl 20. That allowed for the Hornets to jump up to that number 1 spot.
And a huge win for Red Bluff. The first time they've beaten Paradise since at least 2004. And because of that, they're in that number 5 spot in the Division 1 rankings for the first time this year. Shasta's been there all year, and Shasta has the head-to-head beat Red Bluff at Red Bluff. But when you look at Paradise as a common opponent, Shasta just a couple weeks ago lost by 53 at Paradise. Red Bluff beats it by 3 touchdowns. So I think a big difference in the voters' minds there. Red Bluff is down at number 5 below Foothill at number 4, who has 29 points, and Chico just eked them out, number 3 with 30 points this week.
Yeah, that was a really big win for this whole Red Bluff football program and the community down there. And, you know, they're in our media poll for the first time this season at that number 5 spot. Like you said, they have a big game against Foothill this week, and if they can take care of business, they could really turn all 5 of these teams upside down for the playoffs next week.
Looking at Division 2, we got everything's the same up there. We got Sutter at number 1, unanimous, unbeaten. Central Valley had a really thrilling overtime win at Lassen in Susanville, a place they haven't won in a while, to hang on to that number 2 spot. West Valley took care of business against Anderson at home, winning 56-8. And below that, Orland and Wheatland already 4-5. Orland hung on to that number 4 spot by beating Wheatland. Wheatland's still number 5. It kind of solidified that, and maybe a home playoff game for the Trojans.
Yeah, the order of D2 teams stayed the same, but CV did gain 1 point on West Valley. And this week, playing Anderson, if they win that, then they win the NAL outright. That would solidify their 2nd spot. That would keep West Valley at number 3 no matter what happens there for CV. You know, moving down to D3, Pierce is still number 1 in D3, as they have been for a while this year. They're the only unbeaten team. Big contest with Willows this week for that. Then you look at, you know, a big change that Hamilton moved from number 5 to number 3, tied with Modoc this week for 3rd, and then that allowed East Nicholas to jump up into that number 5 spot.
And when you look at Division 4, things are exactly the same. Portola still unbeaten, number 1 in Division 4, followed by Chester, who just beat UPrep on Friday, then Maxwell and the rivals Bernie and Fall River at 4-5 respectively.
And of course, we're not going to talk 8-man football because the playoffs already start this week and are already seeded. So for more regarding the media poll and everything else high school sports, check out prepbeat.com.